The Philippines is now on high alert against the Delta variant as the situation worsens in our neighboring country, Indonesia. The new normal in elections, COMELEC announces some restrictions and health protocols for the 2022 polls. The first 18 kilometers of the Central Luzon Link Expressway is finally open. Fresh updates from the Education Department. The school year opens on September 13. And XOXO, American series Gossip Girl, is getting a reboot, and it explores the impact of social media. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. Kicking off today's newscast with the government now on high alert against the Delta variant as it wreaks havoc in Indonesia. While Delta variant cases in the country remain at 19, authorities are not taking chances in the event of community transmission. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez gives us a front seat to the story.
Now found in nearly 100 countries worldwide, the Delta variant is causing fresh COVID-19 surges. It's so highly transmissible, experts warn it's on track to become the dominant strain in a few weeks.
It's got a reproductive number of almost double the current one. It can infect more people faster.
Indonesia is now being called the new virus epicenter in Asia, where daily case rates have surpassed India's. Indonesia on Wednesday reported more than 54,000 COVID-19 cases, a tenfold increase from just a month ago. What happened in India is playing out there. Hospitals are running out of beds, oxygen, and healthcare workers. The Philippine government is not taking any chances and has added the country to a travel ban, which will be in effect until the end of July. The ban also covers those who transited in the affected countries within the last 14 days.
The most important first step is really border control, identifying countries with high community transmission of this Delta variant.
So far, the Philippine Genome Center has only identified 19 cases of Delta variant here, with 18 recovering and 1 dying. Still, the Octa Group warns that the surge caused by Delta will be worse than the wave we saw in March.
If we find evidence na may community transmission ng Delta variant sa country natin, that will change things. The surge will be worse than what we saw in March. It will be faster.
The Interagency Task Force says it's also laying contingency plans in the event of community transmission.
So we're reassessing our inventories of PPEs, oxygen, medications, even our processes, our quarantine facilities. We're trying to study how we can really immediately ramp them up if the variant enters.
As the IATF relaxes mobility restrictions, it's a race against time to vaccinate as many Filipinos as possible before the Delta variant causes an outbreak. I'm Pamela Vasquez and we are One News.
COMELEC will require candidates for the 2022 polls to submit antigen test results upon filing their certificates of candidacy. In an interview with Sa Totoo Lang, COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez explained that the antigen test will be required for the COC filing, which runs from October 1 to 8. He says the purpose is not to disqualify those who will test positive for COVID-19, but only to ensure that they will not spread the virus if they have it. Jimenez added that the Commission will offer free testing for those who can't afford it.
Now, kung if you can afford it, magpa-antigen test ka na. Kung hindi mo naman afford, kami mismo magte-test sa iyo. Kung may COVID ka, pwede ka tumakbo pa rin, huwag ka lang manghawa ng tao.
Yeah,
kung may COVID ka, pwede ka rin bumoto, huwag ka rin lang manghawa ng tao. Ang purpose po ng testing ng ng gustong kumandidato is to keep the process safe.
The COMELEC spokesperson also assured the public that strict health protocols will remain up to the actual polling day. With this, Jimenez said the public should expect a longer voting process.
Asahan natin na magkakaroon ng health screening sa labas pa lang ng presinto, sa labas ng voting center. Pangalawa, kapag mataas ang temperatura mo or medyo kaduda-duda ang iyong health status, you can expect na magkakaroon ka ng isolation polling place.
Yes.
Ito yung lugar kung saan pwede kang bumoto kahit na medyo kaduda-duda yung estado ng iyong kalusugan. That way, hiwalay ka from the general population at makakaboto kayo ng ligtas.
In other news, a former senator is emphasizing the bigger role of social media in the upcoming elections. Speaking with 1PH sa Totoo Lang, former Senator and Defense Chief Orly Mercado said that past elections have used social media. But Mercado recognized that such technology would be even more critical in the 2022 national elections now that we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Mabigat ang magiging role ng social media rito.
Okay.
And technology will be very, very important. And that's the reason why it's also going to be very expensive. Dahil sa noong araw, radio and TV ads ang pinag-uusapan lang.
Despite administration bets leading recent election surveys, Mercado also claimed that it is still possible for a so-called minority candidate to win the presidency.
Kasi kung maraming tatakbo, ang posibilidad na magkaroon ka ng tinatawag na minority president, malaki rin. No? Dahil sa pag marami, hati-hati ang boto, tapos tayo naman, wala naman sa saligang butas na kinakailangan more than 50% ng boto makuha mo. Basta ikaw ang pinakamarami, kahit na hindi ka umabot sa 50%, presidente ka.
After spending some time with former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte then went to Zamboanga City to meet its mayor. But her regional party insists this has nothing to do with the upcoming elections. Gemma Vansenia with a report.
For the first time in 3 decades, Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte set foot once again in Zamboanga City, and the residents more than welcomed her. She went to Zamboanga for a ceremonial signing of the sisterhood agreement between the cities of Davao and Zamboanga, a deal that did not push through in 2019 because Sara was more identified back then with the Lobregats, a political opponent of the Climacos.
Nung sinabi na sa akin nung handler nung schedule ng HNP campaign, we need to go to Zamboanga City. So sabi ko, wag na, baka sunugin ni Mayor Beng yung stage natin doon.
Hugpong ng pagbabago, President Governor Claudia Bautista says her visit is not part of posturing for the 2022 elections, but admitted that more and more political parties want to align with HNP.
We are not enticing them to have actually re-alliances lang yun ng HNP, and we are so glad and happy na sila na mismo ang nag-effort na gumawa sila ng press conference addressing doon sa issue about Mayor Sara.
Before making her way to Zamboanga, the presidential daughter was photographed with former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. The younger Duterte said that the photo was taken at the NAIA while waiting for her flight bound for Mindanao. Despite making her presence more and more felt, Mayor Sara has yet to announce her plans for the 2022 elections. Officials from Hugpong ng Pagbabago said they are still conducting consultations on the mayor's possible presidential bid. For News 5, Gemma Vansenia, we are One News.
Senator Coco Pimentel hits back at the palace for calling PDP Laban a, quote, jeepney-sized party should they oust President Duterte from the group. In a statement, Pimentel said that the ruling party is not a country club that can be only joined by the rich and famous. He insisted that PDP Laban is a party that's fighting for a certain ideology. Pimentel admitted that while the party may have started as a, quote, tricycle, it was able to produce a president in 2016. He also hinted that many others would also want to hitch a ride on the popularity of PDP Laban. President Rodrigo Duterte inaugurated Phase 1 of the Central Luzon Link Expressway, or CLLEX, which finally opened yesterday. After several delays due to the pandemic, the first 18 kilometers of the connector road in Tarlac opened on Thursday. In his speech at the inauguration, Duterte said that once completed, the 30-kilometer expressway will cut down travel time from Tarlac City to Cabanatuan City from 70 minutes to just 20 minutes. Duterte then thanked the Japanese government for its funding assistance for the CLLEX. Now the president will have more opportunities to thank their foreign counterpart later tonight, as Duterte is set to attend the 2021 APEC Informal Leaders Retreat. Duterte will join other APEC leaders through video conference in a high-level discussion on mitigating the impact of COVID-19 and collaborating to fast-track economic recovery. This meeting will be held at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Manila time. The Education Department has announced that classes for the school year 2021 to 2022 will start on September 13, as approved by the President. In a statement, the agency thanked President Duterte for his, quote, full support for the delivery of quality basic education for the incoming school year. Since Duterte withdrew his approval for limited face-to-face classes, the next school year will continue to see blended learning modalities. Deped thus called on stakeholders to cooperate and prepare for more challenges ahead, with distance learning or online classes still the status quo. Meghan Markle is set to make a comeback on the entertainment industry, but we won't get to see her appear on screen for a role just yet. Markle's production company, Archwell Productions, announced that the Duchess of Sussex is going to produce an animated adventure series for Netflix. The show, entitled Pearl, will be about a 12-year-old girl who is inspired by historical female figures. The streaming giant has yet to release more details about the series and when this will be available on the platform. And Gossip Girl is back for a reboot, and the outrageous, scandalous stories it produces are as juicy as ever. True to Gossip Girl fashion, the show appears to be off to a good start, after its premiere date becoming one of the top 5 trending topics worldwide on Twitter. It is also reportedly the most watched new series of HBO Max since its launch last May. Headlined by Scottish actor and singer Thomas Doherty and Phil-Hawaiian actor-model Evan Mock, New Gossip Girl is presented as more diverse, gender-fluid, and sexually liberating. But the most glaring difference is that the remake is in the age of social media. To recall, the original series had a sensational run from 2007, and social media was practically non-existent, to 2012 when social networking sites were just gaining traction. According to Doherty, the New Gossip Girl explores not just the power of social media, but also its ugly side and the consequences of abusing it. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us later at 10 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.